We got to get into this game, man. Y'all know Caitlin Clark played small forward for the entire first half of the game, all the way until about 4 minutes left in the third quarter when the Indiana Fever were down by 9. The girl was playing small forward. Aaliyah Boston brought the ball up the whole first 3.5 quarters. This is ridiculous. This is malpractice. Stephanie White should be fired immediately. Fired is...
Caitlin Clark was playing small forward, while Aaliyah Boston brought up the ball. Fever fans are calling this absolute coaching malpractice. But what happened next has everyone questioning Stephanie White.
Bro, Stephanie White played Aaliyah Boston at point guard for 3.5 quarters. I'm ready to lose my mind, bro. We got the best point guard in the league. Why is our center playing point guard? Meanwhile, Jonquel Jones was punishing her ass the whole first half. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, bro. Like, Kelsey Mitchell kept her streak going. That's all that matters around here, right? Kelsey Mitchell gets her streak. Yeah, that's all that matters. Indiana Fever lose again. Coaching blunder. This was ridiculous, man. Caitlin Clark, I can't make an excuse for you missing the 2 free throws down the stretch. We were down 3 or whatever we was down. I think we was down 4. Was down 4. You missed 2 free throws. I can't excuse. I don't know what's going on with you at the free throw line. I don't know. What I can say is, once we started to play Caitlin Clark style in the third quarter, when we play, bro, the second we didn't run pick and roll with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston all first half. We finally ran it toward the end of the third quarter. You know what happened? Caitlin Clark found Sophie Cunningham backdoor.
In the history of professional women's basketball, this is the most disastrous, devastating, and utterly frustrating event. This is not a rumor that you are going to hear. It's not a conspiracy theory. The public has now been made aware of this dreadful reality, which will drastically alter the WNBA's landscape moving forward. It is a complete inside job, and the Indiana Fever franchise is officially burning to the ground. A championship-caliber squad is being completely destroyed right now, and it's all because to one person's enormous, uncontrollable ego. If you believed that jealousy, you have no idea what has been going on behind closed doors when it comes to Caitlin Clark. When you learn the real leaked information about why the Indiana Fever recently suffered those consecutive, abhorrent defeats and why Caitlin Clark and Sophie are formally getting ready to pack up and leave the state of Indiana forever, you will be completely sick to your stomach. Let's take a moment to go back in time and examine the utter, indisputable madness of what transpired on the basketball floor this week. The Indiana Fever were expected to be an invincible force throughout this amazing 2026 season. They possessed the most powerful attacking engine. They had Caitlin Clark, the best generational point guard in history, who controlled the game's tempo and dropped dimes from half court. Sophie Cunningham stretched the court, made deadly transition three-pointers, and brought her unwavering dog attitude to the locker room. The chemistry was perfect. The fans were utterly enamored. Every night, the arenas were totally packed out, and the franchise was receiving enormous sums of money from major sponsors like Nike and Gatorade. They were winning with music. They were in charge and the WNBA's indisputable champions. However, everything abruptly collapsed just when the playoff drive was crucial.
Hard to do that. So we're going to do it, but I'm not the only one that's frustrated. I have a list of tweets here, and I don't even want to talk about this damn game. I have a list of tweets to read, and we're going to read these tweets one by one. Shout out to Jason. Jason said this rotation pattern is coaching malpractice. Caitlin Clark hits 2 straight buckets, finally gets into rhythm, and you immediately sub her out because apparently the rotation clock is more important than reading the damn game. Every single game, same predetermined substitution.
When the Indiana Fever took the court, it appeared as though they had never participated in a professional basketball game. The attack was at a standstill. The spacing was a complete nightmare. The defense was defeated. There was no more vitality. Additionally, the team's consecutive embarrassing and disgusting losses demonstrated to the world that they are not yet prepared for playoff basketball. In the grandstand, fans were actually holding their heads in their hands. Millions of viewers at home were utterly perplexed. The same question was being asked by everyone. How can a group with this much is it possible for exceptional, generational talent to abruptly lose their basketball skills? The internet was recently slammed by a huge bombshell leak this morning. Your blood will boil when you hear the truth. These losses weren't unintentional. They weren't just awful evenings. They were the direct outcome of head coach Stephanie White's calculated, intentional, and extremely destructive sabotage. Behind the scenes, Coach White was outraged, according to leaked locker room information and very reliable insiders. She was furious because Sophie Cunningham's superb shooting and Caitlin Clark's amazing playmaking were receiving full credit from the sponsors, fans, and media. Stephanie White's extremely the fact that no one was interested in her defensive tactics was too much for delicate ego to bear. Her antiquated coaching system didn't matter to anyone. She wished to demonstrate to everyone that she was the true genius. She wanted to demonstrate that she had complete authority over the franchise.
It's that close. They clinched last night with a loss from another team, and they said, we could take our foot off the gas. They saw themselves climbing in the standings, and over these last 2 games, they said, we could take our foot off the gas. Stephanie White said, okay, we got our playoff berth wrapped up. We're good here. Not sure what it is. A lot of questions still surrounding this team. What's their mental toughness like? It seems like we luck into these wins in these close games. It doesn't seem like we really out-muscle or out-grit a team. We just kind of, it either falls into our lap or Caitlin Clark hits a game-winning 3 against the Washington Wizards. It doesn't really seem like we outplay teams. It seems like our opponents fall apart. And today, the New York Liberty, they almost fell apart themselves. But they held on late, 109-102. Caitlin Clark moves into 4th in franchise history in three-pointers made. 243, passing Brianne January. I know Brianne January is sick. And Kelsey Mitchell, 22 short games for Kelsey Mitchell with 20-plus points, extending her WNBA record. Now let's take a look at the box score. We allow 30 points in multiple quarters. We're not going to win like that. Now I was told...
What exactly did Stephanie White do, then? She made the most nasty, stupid, and basketball-illiterate coaching choice in the sport's history. Stephanie White fully removed the basketball from the hands of the world's best point guard in an act of pure, unadulterated sabotage. Caitlin Clark was shifted to the small forward position by her. That's exactly what you heard. As a spot-up shooter, she pushed the ultimate floor general, the player who totally controls the game's tempo and flow, into the corner. Caitlin Clark, the league's most potent offensive and economic engine, was purposefully demoted by Coach White to the position of 3rd scoring option.
We cut the lead to 2 again. Just like that. Just like that. And then it's like you bring back in Aaliyah, you bring back Kelsey, and we go back to the same old thing. It's just like, bro, I'm just sick of this coach, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago Sky beat this team tomorrow. Sydney Taylor's gonna be back. She's gonna go for 30 on them tomorrow. I mean, this team is garbage, man. We had the 3rd seed in the palm of our hand. By the time the playoffs come, we might be sitting in like 7th place. We might be stuck going to Golden State in round 1. And that means you're going to get bumped and lose in round 1. How embarrassing is that? If you're going to be playing this style, you'll probably lose to the Atlanta